All right, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. It's good to see everyone. First of all, we've been doing the challenges every day, and today we're going to take it a step further with our challenge. So here's today's challenge. First of all, we're going to read the problem, and we're going to ask ourselves, what do we really want to know from this problem? So think in your heads what you really want to find out. What's the answer you're looking for? So the question's asking us, Mr. O'Hara drove from Houston to San Antonio to Austin, and then Austin back to Houston. He stopped a total of 4 times, not counting his start and finish in Houston. He drove the same amount between each pair of stops. About how many miles did he drive between each stop? Explain how you found the answer. I've told you guys numerous times, story problems freak me out. It's a lot of information in the story problem. So what we need to do is we need to break it down. First of all, I'm asking myself, and I'm hoping you're asking yourself one question right now, is what is this problem really asking me? What does it want me to know? It wants me to know about how many miles did he drive between each stop. Keyword, about. Ding, ding, ding. Something should be going in your head right now that they want us to estimate, okay? So, they don't want an exact answer. And remember, we talked about all the time how we estimate on a regular basis. It's just something that we naturally do. So they gave us a beautiful visual, and it's me. I'm a visual person, so you guys know that. He drove from Houston to San Antonio. So over here on this map, I'm going from Houston to San Antonio. And I'm seeing that it's 190 miles from Houston to San Antonio. He's going from San Antonio to Austin. So I'm going to put my 190 over here so I have it. San Antonio to Austin is right here. And that is 75 miles. And make sure you line it up so you don't get confused and you know you're talking about miles. And then Austin back to Houston. There. And that is 146 miles. That's great information. What are we going to do with it? That's wonderful information. Now, it's telling you he stopped a total of 4 times. Total of 4 times. So he's driving along in his car, and he had to make stops, potty stops, he had to make meal stops, whatever. And it says not counting his start and finish to Houston. Guys, don't get confused with that information. That is not useful information. We don't need it because it's telling us that he stopped 4 times. That's all we need to know, is that he stopped 4 times. So the next line, it says he drove the same amount between each pair of stops. Same amount. So right now you should be asking yourself another question. If he drove the same amount and he made 4 stops. So first of all, it's asking us to estimate. There's a couple ways you guys could do this. You guys know how to do this. There's a couple ways of thinking about this. One way is you could estimate your numbers here right now. And you guys could do your math talk on this. You guys could do your mental math and figure out what your operation would be. What's the first thing we need to do? You're right, we need to figure out how many miles total he went. So, I could look at 190 as 200 miles. I'm going to go down to this 146, and I'm going to say that's 150. Right now, you smart mathematicians are going to know that that's 350 miles. And then I could add my other 75. If I add another 50, that's 400. And then I could add my 25, and I get 425. There's a couple schools of thought. There's a couple different ways you can do that. I'm going to come up with 425 miles right now. I want you to think of another way you could do this also. So he drove a total of 425 miles. Make sure you know what that 425 represents. Make sure you know that it's 425 miles. How many stops did he have to make? You're right, he had to make 4 stops. So if he had to make 4 stops and he went 425 miles, if we actually did the division, you could actually do your partial quotient and figure it out. However, we are estimating. We're finding out about how many miles. Right now, if I divide 425 by 4, I'm going to get about 100, because 100 fours is 400. So I'm going to say that each stop was 100 miles. Now, it's not exact, that's true, but we wanted an estimate. So it gives me an idea. If I actually do the problem, it should be around 100 miles, and I can check myself. And I just explained how I found my answer by doing the work over here. Now, another way of doing it is if I did not have this visual here, so let's pretend this isn't here. I wanted to drive from Houston to San Antonio. I could just go like this. This is Houston, this is San Antonio. And then I need to go from San Antonio to Austin. Make this Austin. And then Austin back to Houston. So my trip is going to look like this. Okay, so I could draw that. I would still need the numbers, but I could also draw that problem. This is a multi-step problem for you guys. You guys know how to do this. It's multi-step. It has a couple operations in it. Have confidence in yourself. You guys got this. Happy Friday!